not moving? Well, oh, now I'm moving. Ayo. I was just like, why am I, why am I typing? I think I'm ready now. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Where's my soda? Fuck. Never mind. Gotcha. I knew I was forgetting something. My soda. Canada Dry. I'm not particularly biased and think Canada Dry is better. It's just simply easier to get, easier to buy in bulk. Maybe because I am in Canada. But yeah, I at first thought I could have done the bad end before this, but I misread the what's it called? I misread the like walkthrough. It said like madness ending. I'm like, oh, like the main madness ending. No, there's multiple madness endings, and I actually just got it on stream because I fucked up, picked the wrong option. But the main bad end of the game, I'm not there yet at actually, which is really weird. Because usually, well, if it wasn't obvious, the way the last stream ended, they, had a slumber party with a bunch of sausage action. And usually that does, in all three routes that occurred thus far, that doesn't really happen before the bad end, which is weird. Yeah, there was some naughty stuff. I hope you don't mind, Riku. This is a naughty game for naughty people or literature enthusiasts, and I'm more of a literature enthusiast. But yeah, so that'll be later. So I think if I reach that point today, I'm pretty sure I'll reach it first. I'll end the stream, start a new one, do the bad end stream. Because I kind of want to end the whole thing on the good end rather than ending the whole game on the bad end. Even though I know in my heart and soul I'm pretty sure I'm certain that the bad end music is like amazing. But I don't really want to end it on that, so we're just gonna be trucking along. I accidentally saw spoilers in the let's play walkthrough, but nonetheless, yeah, I accidentally read through afterwards. I was just like, they just kept trauma dumping, and I'm just like, I just want to know more. I just like kept reading, so yeah. So basically, they did some you know, some bedroom tangoing, as they call it. And yeah. Anyways, continuing onwards. Absently, I watched him go, and soon afterwards, I found myself slipping off to sleep. Damn, where's the BGM? It's getting kinda lonely in here. When I awoke, Fujieda was sitting on the edge of the bed, or already showered. Slowly, I rolled out of bed and headed to the bathroom to take my turn. Yeah, I was really shocked last time. I'm just like, wait, what? This is... And then I thought about it. I guess the situation could happen, but I guess compared to all the other routes, I was just like, whoa, this is very different. This is pretty early. Yeah, anyways. I rinsed my body in the shower, then slung a towel over my shoulder and walked back to the bed, where I sat down cross-legged. It felt cold for some reason, and when I looked around, I realized the window was open. Must have been Fujieda, because it stinks in there. He was already dressed. He shot me and my still naked body a dirty look. Now that I was all freshened up, it finally felt real. This man had, fricked me. maybe it was only just now sinking in for him too. I had to say frick because I think for YouTube, if in the first 10 minutes you say something naughty, the bots kill you or something. Anyways. Despite his attempt to play it off, I could feel the nervous tension in the air. As I was lighting a cigarette, he summoned his resolve and looked at me. It's censored! Well, no, you'll see soon, but like, I'm just like, people don't sit like that, but I realized they were trying to like, yeah, cover it.
聞きたいんだな。
I wanted to ask you something. He sounded serious. I exhaled the smoke and gestured for him to continue.
傷に触れられることについてだ。
It's about having your scars touched.
始まりがマヤだったと知っても。お前は傷が好きなのか?
Do you still like your scars, knowing Maya's the one who originally gave them to you? I'm just checking if the BGM is picking up because it's very quiet. Maya. The mere sound of her name brought me back to cold, harsh reality. I didn't feel sick this time, but my brain refused to function. Nevertheless, I forced myself to speak. That woman doesn't own my scars. They're mine, not hers. And no one but you owns yours, right? It's really interesting how they censored this. I wouldn't expect them to censor it like that. Once I managed to get the words out, I fixed him with an inquiring look.
俺にとって傷は醜く忌むべきものだ。だが
Me, I always hated these grisly scars, but... I could see hesitation in his eyes, but then, with a laugh, he conceded and looked away.
お前は強いんだな。少なくとも強くあろうとしている。
You, on the other hand, you're a strong person, or at least you try to be.
負けたくない。
I don't want to roll over and give in. Right, yeah. The conversation petered out and silence fell. I stared at the floor as I smoked, but then I remembered something and I looked at him intently.
なんだ?
What is it?
そのお前って言い方、そっちが素なのか?
Is this version of you the real you? Recently, I noticed that he had finally dropped the uppity lawyer act. But apparently it was unintentional, because he looked at me in surprise.
戻ってたか。いつからか。
Silly me. Must have forgotten my armor. I don't really like how they translate this line. It feels kind of chunibyo. Like the actual way he says it sounds more casual. He cupped a hand over his mouth and averted his gaze. I snickered. He cleared his throat pointedly, then donned a very serious look on his face.
率直な感想を聞きたい。
Now then, I'd like your honest opinion.
感想?
Of what?
俺とのセックスは良かったか?
How was the sex? What? Now that I wasn't expecting. I burst out laughing. Surely you could have come up with a better subject change than that, right? Then again, knowing him, he was probably dead serious about asking me.
何がおかしい
What's so funny? He scowled at me.
いや、あんたもそういうことが気になるんだな。
Didn't realize you were worried about that kind of thing.
思考の結果を知りたいと思うのは当然の心理だろう。
Is it not only natural to want to hear the results of my experiments?
全然良くなかった。
Worst lay of my life.
って言ったらどうするんだよ。
Not really, but what if it was?
さらなる改善策を考えるまでだ。
Then I'd simply have to make some adjustments. Good grief. Unable to suppress my laughter, I stared at the floor and chuckled. Then, as he fell silent, I sensed his uncertainty and reined myself in.
それって改善策を俺に試すところまで考えてるってことか。俺とのセックスはこの一回きりじゃないって。
So you're saying you're going to keep experimenting. This wasn't a one-time thing.
まだ感想を聞いていない。
You still haven't given me your opinion. He answered grumpily. Apparently this was his way of hiding his embarrassment.
感想ね。怖かった。
My opinion? Well, it was scary. I like how he delivered this line. Fear glimmered in his eyes.
それは
Scary?
気持ちよすぎて。
Because of how good it was. As he struggled to find his words, I shot him a teasing look.
痛みとは違う。今まで感じたことのない気持ちよさで狂うかと思ったんだ。
Didn't hurt at all. It was unlike anything I'd ever felt before. It drove me wild.
そうか。
I see. He averted his eyes again. Perhaps he wasn't expecting me to go into that much detail. His cheeks looked a bit pink.
セックスの時に傷跡に触れられたり、痛めつけられたりするのは最高に興奮する。
What turns me on the most is having someone touch or hurt my scars.
けど、あんたに入れられてからが正直、全部どこかに飛んでた。そのくらいよかったよ。
I didn't realize I had to censor so much. God. But once you put your dong in me, man, that all went out the window. It was just that incredible. At this, he hastily cleared his throat. Yeah, me too, bro. I was just like, okay, can we change the topic? Jesus.
それならまあ成功したということか。
Well then, I suppose I've achieved my goal.
それにしても本当にひどい状態だな。
Anyway, you don't look great.
何が
What do you mean?
その体だ。
Physically.
ひどいの元からだけど。
I've always been this ugly.
古傷じゃない。新しい傷のことを言ってる。
I'm not talking about your scars. I mean you're injured.
ああ。
Oh. Cigarette between my lips, I looked down at my own body. The bruises from the gang rape were now dark purple. and the cuts and scrapes were scabbed but swollen.
この部屋に救急箱はあるか？
Is there a first aid kit up here?
あるある。
Yeah. I jerked my chin in the direction of the kit in the corner. He rose from the bed and retrieved it.
新しい傷の手当てをしておいた方がいい。
We should treat your fresh wounds.
できるのか？
Yeah, he looks pretty roughed up. You know how. I smirked at him skeptically. Of course, I didn't really doubt him. I was there when he treated Taku and Rei.
簡単になるな。
I can manage something simple. He nodded without getting offended. I reached up, plucked the cigarette butt from my lips, and crushed it in the ashtray on the edge of the bed. Then he sat down next to me, set the first aid kit on his other side, and held something out to me. It was the bunny toy he'd stolen from me, the one that belonged to Yuzuki Mei.
これを。
Here.
あんたの妹のだ。
Belongs to your sister.
ああ。だが。これはお前が持っていた方がいい。いや、持っていてほしい。
It does. But you ought to have it. No, I want you to have it. For a brief moment, I hesitated. Then I reached out and wordlessly accepted the toy. A relieved sigh, Fujieda took my arm and began the first aid process. He disinfected my wounds, applied gauze, and taped it to my skin. His every movement was confident. I watched him in silence as he worked.
念のため、後から村瀬先生に見てもらった方がいい。応急処置しかできないからな。
Just in case, you should have Dr. Murse double check my work. I only know the basics. Right. Finally, he fitted a fresh eye patch over my right eye, then packed everything back into the first aid kit. Rubbing my newly bandaged arm, I looked down at the toy he had returned to me. You said your sister's name is Yuzuki Mei, right? Yeah. Your parents get divorced or something?
いや、藤枝亮は偽名だ。
No. Fujieda Ryo is a pseudonym.
偽名？本名は？
It is? Then what's your real name?
柚木湊だ。
Yuzuki Minato. I thought of him as Fujieda for so long, it didn't feel right.
表向きには仕事用の名前だと言っているが、本当は両親と同じ姓を名乗りたくなかった。
I tell people Fujieda is my business name, but the truth is, I just don't want to associate myself with my parents.
俺は両親を憎んでいる。
I despise them. He turned away, rubbing his arm with his other hand.
俺の体の傷は両親の虐待によるものだ。
They're the ones who gave me my scars.
お前たちがいなければもっと楽だった。お前たちを産んだのは間違いだった。両親からは常にそんな言葉をぶつけられた。
Every day they shouted at us, told us how they wished we'd never been born, how their lives would have been so much easier without us.
結局、父親は外に女を作って出ていった。
Then my father left us for another woman.
母親はますますおかしくなって、適当な理由をつけて俺たちを殴った。特に妹への当たりが強く、俺は妹をかばった。
My mother went off the rails after that. She'd find any excuse to hit us, especially my sister. I always stepped in to defend her.
そうすると母親が逆上して、虐待がどんどんエスカレートしていった。
This would only upset my mother more, and the abuse would escalate from there.
家を出ようかと思ったが、妹を連れてどう生きていけばいいのか、俺には分からなかった。
I wanted to run away from home, but I didn't know how my sister and I would survive on our own.
だから必死で耐え抜いて、中学を卒業してすぐにバイトを始めた。高校には行かなかった。
So instead, I just tolerated it. And after I graduated from middle school, I joined the workforce. Never went to high school.
とにかく金を貯めて、妹と家を出ようと思った。バイトを掛け持ちして、寝る間も惜しんで働いた。
I saved up all the money I could to try to get the two of us out of there. I sacrificed hours of sleep to work more jobs.
だがある日、バイトから帰ってくると、妹がいなかった。
But one day, when I came home from work, my little sister was gone.
母親に聞こうと思ったら、やけに高級そうな服や化粧品を床に並べて、笑ってた。
When I went to ask my mother, I found her sitting on the floor, surrounded by designer clothes and makeup, laughing.
嫌な予感がして、母親を問いただした。
I knew something was up, so I asked her, and
妹を里子に出したと。そう言ったんだ。
She looked at me and said, I put her up for adoption.
ウェブに妹の写真をアップして、引き取り手を募集したそうだ。引き換えに金を手にしたと。
Apparently, she posted a listing online to find a buyer. Sold her for a tidy profit, she said. Fujieda was surely reliving it all in his mind as he spoke. His handsome features were twisted in pain, revealing his tightly gritted teeth.
俺はすぐに家を飛び出して、妹を探した。ずっと貯めてきたバイト代を使って、とにかく探し回った。
I ran out of the house and started searching for her. I used my savings to try to find her.
だが、妹は見つからず、バイト代の底を突きつけた。
That money ran out before I could.
飲まず食わずだったから、途中で意識を失って、ある女性に助けられた。
I went without food or water for so long. I passed out in the street. Then a woman rescued me.
その人はホストクラブのオーナーで、俺は彼女の店で働くことになった。
She was the owner of a host club. After that, she hired me to work there. He donned a self-deprecating grin.
さまざまな客を相手にしながら、すべては金だと思い知らされた。だから、のし上がってやろうと思った。
The more clients I took, the more I realized it was only ever about money. But I vowed to work my way up the ladder.
そうすれば、すぐに妹を見つけることもできるだろうと。
Power and influence. I'd be able to find my sister.
それで、ホストから弁護士に転職したのか。
So that's when you switched to being a lawyer? He nodded, his expression dark.
正しくは検察官か。ホストで金払いのいい客をつなぎながら、大学の卒業資格を取り、司法試験を受けて検察官になった。
A prosecutor, to be specific. My well-paying clients put me through law school. Once I graduated, I took the bar exams and got my license.
その方が情報を漁りやすいからか。だが、検察官は個人で自由に動くことができない。だから、一年で検察官を辞めて、弁護士になった。
I figured it'd be easier to gather info that way, but prosecutors can't take action on their own behalf. So after a year, I switched to being a defense attorney.
実績を積むために、他の弁護士が嫌がるような仕事を進んで引き受けた。暴力団の顧問弁護士とかだな。
In order to make a name for myself, I took all the work other lawyers refused, like working for the Yakuza.
それから、妹が売られた時期を中心に、未成年の失踪や誘拐があった地域を徹底的に洗った。
Then I searched all the missing children records during the time period that my sister was sold.
新興民はピックアップした地域のうちの一つで、特に可能性が高いと睨んでいた。
Of all the areas that had reported human trafficking activity, I had my eye on one in particular, Shinkomi.
高里組が幅を利かせているのを知っていたから、つてをたどって紹介してもらった。
I knew the Takasato Gumi were the big dogs in charge, so I used my connections to get an in with them.
これが俺が新興民へ来た経緯だ。
And that's how I found myself in Shinkomi. After the long explanation, he let out a slow breath.
さっきも言ったが、俺は自分の体の傷を憎んでいた。両親につけられた。ひどく醜いものだと。
As I said earlier, I always hated the scars on my body. To me, they were a curse from my parents.
だが、初めてお前の体の傷跡を見たとき、心臓をわしづかみにされたような衝撃が走った。
But when I saw your scars for the first time, my heart nearly stopped.
あの時は深く考えられなかったが、今思えば、あれは見せられたんだ。
I didn't think much about it at the time, but looking back, I was captivated.
お前の傷跡が心底魅力的だと思った。だからこそ遠ざけようとした。
I sincerely felt your scars were appealing. That's why I deliberately pushed you away.
俺たちはあまりに近すぎて、反発し合ったのかもしれないな。
We were so similar, I was repelled. Like magnets, I suppose. I could see a hint of sadness in his faint smile. That said, I understood where he was coming from. When I saw his body, it made me curious to learn more. Excuse me. But he, on the other hand, wanted to get away. So, also he could remain Fujieda Ryo.
俺はお前の傷跡を見た時からお前のことが気になってた。外見通りではない何かがあるんだろうって。
I got interested in you the moment I saw your scars. It made me realize there was more to you than meets the eye.
俺のこともユーフォリアとして欲望を知ろうと思ったことはあるのか?
Were you ever tempted to learn about my desire for your euphoria? I laughed and looked away.
あんたは外面と中身が違うんだろうとは思ったから。
Yeah, I figured it'd be something I could never guess by looking at you.
でも、ユーフォリアとして話す前に、あんたのことが分かったからな。 だからこう思ってる。
But I learned about you without needing to initiate something as euphoria. So here we are.
そうだな。
Right. He nodded, smiling. I stared into space.
俺はずっとなんとなくユーフォリアとして絵を描いているつもりだった。
All this time, I thought my euphoria paintings were a way to kill time.
意味なんてなくて、ただそうしたいからしてるだけだって。でも、本当は違った。
I told myself my art didn't matter, that I was just doing it all for fun. But in actuality, that wasn't true.
すべてマヤの思惑通りだった。子供の頃、人が本音を吐き出すように誘導する話術を母親に叩き込まれたんだ。
It was all according to Maya's plan. When I was a kid, she purposely taught me the persuasive skills needed to get the truth out of people.
誘導する話術。
She taught you the art of persuasion?
ああ、信じられないだろう。生活の知恵でも教えるときみたいに繰り返し、何度も。
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? She repeated it over and over, like part of a bedtime routine.
そうすれば、みんなが言うことを聞いてくれるようになるって、ことあるごとに語って聞かされた。
She was always talking about it. Told me it would make people do whatever I wanted.
過去を忘れてからも、俺は無意識にその話術を使ってた。
And even after I lost my memories, I still subconsciously retained those skills. That's why the interrogation stuff is pretty easy, and there's like a line at the bottom, like TOWA guiding you what to do. And even on the options, it's like, oh, I think this person wants me to say blank. This game is really well thought out.
それだけじゃない。見えるんだ。人の煙が。
And that's not the only thing. I can see people smoke.
煙？
People's what?
オーラみたいなもので言った方がわかりやすいか。感情や考えによって色や動きが変化する。
Might make more sense if I call it an aura. I guess. It moves and changes color based on the person's mood.
それを見ながら相手の心情を予測して話すと思った通りになる。
I watch it to get a feel for their mental state while I talk to them. Makes it easier.
それはいつから見えるようになったんだ。
How long have you had this ability?
わからない。物心ついた時にはもう見えてた。本当に見えてるのか、それとも幻を見ているのかわからない。
No clue. I've been able to see smoke for as long as I can remember. Or maybe it's just a hallucination. I don't know.
頭がおかしいって思うだろう。
You probably think I'm nuts, huh? He didn't deny it. No surprise there, in my opinion.
別に信じなくてもいい。俺はマヤから教わったことも含めて、そういう異常なやり方でマヤと同じように。
I won't ask you to believe me. My point is, I've been operating just like my mother, using the same tricks she taught me as a kid.
人が心の奥に秘めている欲望を暴いていて楽しんでた。
I've been digging up people's hidden desires for fun.
知らないうちに俺はあの女と同じことをしてたんだ。
At some point along the way, I became Maya 2.0. As I spoke, a lump of emotion welled up in my throat, and I pursed my lip. Fujieda averted his gaze pensively, then carefully began to speak.
おそらくお前は人が欲望に溺れる姿を見て自分と同じような人間がいると安心したかったんだろうな。
I imagine you looked at those people. Oh wait, I imagine you looked at those people, overcome with a desire, and hoped to find a kindred spirit.
安心
What do you mean? At this, I looked at him in confusion.
ああ、実の母親に道具として扱われて人の汚い欲望にまみれて
Well, your mother treated you like a toy, exposing you to all of humanity's filthiest yearnings.
すがりたいはずの親にそんなことをされたら子供は心を殺すしかない。
She should have protected you, but instead she betrayed you. Any child would close themselves off. He smiled softly.
自分が道具としての価値しかないと思う一方でそういう人間は自分だけではないのだと。
So while you internalized that you were nothing but an object, part of you wanted to believe you weren't alone.
他にも自分と同じようにもがき苦しむ人間がいるのだと知りたかったんじゃないのか。
You wanted to believe that there were others out there struggling just like you, right?
あくまでも俺の解釈だから違うのかもしれないが。
Just my own interpretation, so I could be wrong, but...
お前が傷を好むというより執着しているのも同じ理由であるように思う。
I believe it is for that same reason that you have an intense fixation on scars. Yeah, he's just psychoanalyzing TOWA like crazy after this, like, bro.
同じ理由
It is.
さっきも言ったが俺にとっては他人につけられた傷など意味嫌うものでしかなかった。
As I said earlier, I have felt nothing but hatred for the scars other people saw fit to put on my body.
それをお前は自分のものとして受け入れると言った。
But you said you accepted them as your own.
裏を返せば他人につけられた傷すらも受け入れることで自分の体が自分のものであると必死に主張しているように。
Conversely, by accepting the trauma others inflicted on you, you desperately cling to the last shreds of your personal autonomy.
俺にはそう感じられた。
Or at least, that was the impression I got. His eyes were filled with affection and sadness as he gazed at me.
自分を痛めつけることでただの道具でしかない自分を叩き潰して否定しながら本当は自分を失うことを恐れているんじゃないか。
Cutting yourself was a self-destructive impulse, a punishment for being worthless. But deep down, you were scared of losing yourself, weren't you? I couldn't argue with that. For that matter, I couldn't be sure whether he was right or wrong. But I didn't feel compelled to deny it.
俺という存在が全部あの女が作ったものだ。肉体も考え方も俺はそれに影響されてただけで俺は
Everything I am, I owe to that woman. My body, my mind. I was just her canvas.
あの女の所有物でただのものだった。
Was never a person. I was her property.
お前は今母親の呪縛から逃れて一歩を踏み出そうとしている。変わり始めている。
But now you're taking the first step to shake free of her curse. You're starting to change.
今まではそうやって疑問に思い絶望することもなかったんだろう。
All this time, you never questioned it or felt despair over it, right?
だからこれ以上自分を否定する必要はない。ありきたりな言葉だが、お前の人生はお前のものなんだ。
Then you don't have to keep beating yourself up. Call me cliche, but your life is yours to live. Right. I nodded and quietly closed my eye. Oddly enough, what he said just now put me at ease.
お前も自分ではどうしようもない境遇に生まれついた。それは理解しているし、共感できる部分もある。
You didn't get to choose your home life. I understand that. And I can partially relate.
だからお前を見ていると、なぜか自分を見ているような気分になる。
Perhaps as a result, whenever I look at you, for some reason, it feels like looking into a mirror.
俺には守るべき存在が妹がいたから生きる理由を見失わなかった。
Because I had someone I cared about. My sister. I always had a reason to live.
だがもし妹がいなかったら全てを投げ出していたかもしれない。
Without her, I might have given up. Why is his pecs being like super sucked by the shirt? Are his pecs just really big? I don't know why they're so formed to his chest. I mean, his shirt. I was just looking, I'm like, why can't you see the pecs so well?
生きようと思えなかったかもしれない。だから今はお前のことを憎いとは思わない。それより
Or maybe I never would have tried. So I've stopped resenting you. Instead, I feel. He faltered, his expression hesitant.
何と言ったらいいかわからないな。
I'm not sure how to describe it.
傷の舐め合い。
Pity? I murmured, opening my eye. He looked at me dubiously.
違うか。
What? Am I wrong? From the moment I first laid eyes on Fujieda, I was sure that we'd be incompatible. But as it turned out, we had more in common than I ever would have imagined. He didn't have to say a word. One look at the scars on his body and it was plain to see. So the magnetic force pulling us together was, in a sense, a desire to commiserate? I don't know what that means. Commiserate? He remained silent for a moment, then slowly began to speak.
否定はできない。確かにその意味合いを含んでいるだろう。
I admit, I can't deny that. I'm sure pity is a part of it.
だがそれだけで終わるつもりはない。
But there's room for something more to grow.
傷を舐め合い認め合ってさらにその先へ行く。
It starts with pity, then acceptance, and then whatever comes after that.
傷を舐め合う相手がいるなら認め合うこともできるし、いずれ支え合いにも変えられるはずだ。
If we feel sorry for each other, then that means we validate each other. Eventually, we might even come to support each other.
単なる言い換えだと言われればそうなんだが、 舐め合いよりも支え合いと呼んだ方が前へ進めそうな気がしないか。
Granted, maybe I'm just rephrasing it, but I think support sounds a lot more encouraging than pity, don't you? I was stunned. Not only that, but the soft smile on my lips felt so natural.
俺とあんたが支え合い
You and me supporting each other.
不本意か。
Are you opposed?
いや
No. Quietly, I shook my head.
少し前までどっちかというと殴り合いの関係だったのにな。
You know, it's funny. Not that long ago, we were punching each other.
何も知らなかった。仕方ない。
We didn't know better. It's not our fault.
殴り合い、舐め合い、認め合い、支え合い。か。
Punching, to pitying, to validating, to supporting. Ah.
言いたいことがあるのに言え。
If you have something to say, then say it. He frowned at me. Apparently, he thought I was being skeptical.
それはあんたが俺と支え合う関係を望んでるってことでいいのか。
Are you saying you want the two of us to support each other? At this, his eyes widened ever so slightly. Then eventually, something akin to bashfulness crept up on his face.
もちろん、お前の意思は尊重する。お前が嫌でなければだ。
I mean, obviously, I would respect your preferences, so it depends on whether you're willing. This man was such an enigma. He was conscientious to a fault and sometimes inelegant in his methods. An insufferable know-it-all who so often stumbled at the most crucial moments. At his core, was he just a hopeless idiot? Wow. With this thought, I gave him my answer in the form of a light chew. He looked at me in surprise, then his eyes softened.
乗ってやるよ。
Sure, I'll humor you.
ずいぶん上からだな。
Condescending much.
あんたほどじゃない。
Not as much as you. He chuckled and looked at me. I gazed back at him with a conspiratorial grin. Yeah. After I finished having a smoke, Fujieda and I sat down on the sofa and discussed my past. Time to get down to business. Wow. I showed him the contents of the package I was sent along with the bunny toy. He held a photo of the dark painting in one hand and the torn record entry in the other, scrutinizing them intently.
そもそもこの荷物は一体誰が送ってきたのか。
For that matter, who on earth would send you these things? Just then I heard a cell phone buzz. Fujieda rose to his feet and retrieved his phone. It must have been an email or text message. Instantly, his expression hardened.
高里組が襲撃を受けたらしい。
The Takasato Gumi was attacked. Oh, thanks, Madarame. Thanks, bestie.
襲撃
Attacked?
ああ、TOWAの榊が 行方不明とのことだ。
Wow. Yes, Tono and Sakaki have gone missing. Wow. Wow. He put his phone back into his bag and pulled on his jacket. Just like that, he was back in lawyer mode.
状況確認をするために部屋へ戻る。また連絡する。
I'm going back to my place to take stock of the situation. I'll be in touch.
Haha.
Got it. Yeah, Toa, you should rest up. Maybe eat something? Carrying his bag, he walked to the door and then paused and looked over his shoulder.
ちゃんと服を着ろよ。
Oh, and put some clothes on, would you? Nah. With that serious comment, he straightened up and strolled briskly from the room. Funny to think that I despised that same armor of his just a few short hours ago. With that thought, I gazed at the closed door and let out a small sigh. After Fujieda left, I got dressed at his request and dozed off on the sofa. My mirror snores. For once, I slept like a log without any disturbing dreams, and I didn't need the sleeping pills either.
Oi, TOWA. Oi.
Hey, Towa, hey! I felt someone shaking me and opened my eye. Taku peered at me with a concerned look on his face. Look at this place. What happened in here? Oh, Taku. Oh my god, you missed out on a lot of shit. I pushed myself up and looked around the room. Oh my god, Taku. Towa was gonna do something pretty bad. It reeked of paint thinner, and the canvases were still strewn around everywhere, so it was really no surprise that he was alarmed. Oh, he's just gonna say it. Tried to kill myself. Sleepily, I rubbed my eye with one hand. That sure is a bomb to drop. You what? He looked back at me with a deep frown. But I changed my mind. Just like that? That's how I operate. You can admit that someone convinced you. If you just say you changed your mind, that's deeply concerning. And I would say you would need psychiatric help. Oh, come on, you've never gone this far before. They are being very casual about this. Point taken. To me, it didn't matter anymore. As I bit back a yawn, I belatedly realized he was staring at me in shock. What? Look, did something happen to you? Yeah, a lot, Papa Bear, a lot. Like what? You look different. Oh, maybe Towa has like hope in his eyes or something. Different how? Well, normally you look like a walking corpse. Ouch. But today, your complexion is looking a bit better. Did you start eating healthy? Oh, I sure fucking hope so. Oh my god, I sure fucking hope so. At last, I finally understood what he was getting at. I grinned. It's a long story. At this, Taku did a double take, blinking in confusion. What? Alright then, what about those injuries? They got something to do with the state of this place? What the hell happened? He really feels like a parent right now. To me.
ちょっと
Look, it's nothing.
ちょっとどころじゃないだろう。簡単な手当てはしてやるようだが、一応見せてみろ。
Like hell, it's nothing. I see you've been patched up, but you know what? Let me take a look.
それより休館続きって何かあったのか。
Wait, but what about all those emergency patients? I vaguely remembered Ray mentioning something along those lines the last time he came by. Annoyed by the change of the subject, Taku reluctantly answered.
高里君が襲撃を受けたって話、聞いてないか。昨晩から怪我人がこっちにも搬送されてきてるんだよ。
Have you heard about the Takusatogumi got... Have you heard that the Takusatogumi got attacked? They've been bringing the victims in since last night.
手伝ってもらおうと思ったんだが、お前の怪我人とはな。おとなしく休んでろ。
I was hoping you could help, but I didn't realize you were injured too. Just get some rest. With that, he rushed out of the room. Shinkomi tabs are made as he investigating the Takusato office attack. Special feature: is the Takusatogumi cursed with bad luck? Who will be the savior of Shinkomi? The attacks continue. Breaking! Takusato office attacked right after leader's passing. Several people were killed, and many more wounded in the latest attack on the Takusato office. Survivors say the culprit was a large man dressed in black who infiltrated the building. Madarame! Wow. Whoa, wow, all on your own? At lunchtime, Taku brought Ray up to my apartment with him. The instant Ray walked in, his eyes widened in horror. Oh my god, what is all this? It stinks in here. What happened? He said he tried to kill himself. You know, no fucking biggie. What? Jesus, Towa, are you alright? Oh my god. Yeah. I nodded, then he tilted his head in visible confusion. Towa, you seem kinda different now. Did something happen? I guess maybe Towa reached some sort of stage of enlightenment, so he's kinda like, yeah, I'm chilling, I'm vibing, I'm not a corpse, I'm grateful to be alive. Yuzuki Mei, I can't let her life be in vain and gotta stay alive. And sure had a good time last night. You think so too, eh? And also might have to do with how the thing that happened last night, like how it wasn't painful but it was actually good. Just a thought. Taku nodded as he retrieved the first aid kit. God, I'm so curious. What was it? Nothing. Liar. It's hard to really bring up casually what really went down last night. Ray shot back indignantly. Beside him, Taku started treating my wounds. We both got a lot of questions, Ray. But for now, can you clean up this mess? I'll pitch in once I'm done here. As will he. Right, Towa? Yes, Good point. Time's ticking on our lunch break. God, it reeks in here. Ray rolled up his sleeves and walked over to the mess of canvases.
お前がやったんじゃないよな。
You didn't do this yourself, did you? Taku peered intently at the bandages on my body.
ああ、
Nope.
しっかり処置されてる。これなら俺がやり直さなくていいだろう。
Whoever they were, they did a good job. Looks like I won't have to redo it. With that, he set the first aid kit on the coffee table and walked off to go help Ray. I looked down at the bandages Fujieda applied. Frankly, I was impressed with his handiwork. After that, Taku and Ray called me over to come help with the cleanup. Oh my god, are they gonna clean the room? Oh my god, the room's clean! Holy shit! Like, the bottles are gone. By the time we finished, though we couldn't completely erase the turpentine smell, lunch was nearly over.
一応なんとかなったわね。
Well, at least that's taken care of. Yeah. Ray let out a sigh of relief while Taku sat slumped in the chair exhausted. I'd done a fair bit of work myself, so I reclined on the sofa and had a smoke.
とは冷蔵庫にご飯入れておいたから時間がある時に食べてね。
TOWA, I put some food in the fridge for you, so eat it when you have time. Yes, Mom.
わかった。
Got it.
ねえ。
Hey, Summoning his resolve, Ray looked at us.
高里組を襲撃したのってやっぱりあいつかしら。
Do you think the culprit behind the Takasato attack was... you know who?
確かにある人物じゃないかとは言われてる。
There have been whispers about it, yeah.
それって
So you're saying...
最近幽霊だなんだと噂になってる男だ。
Yup. The same guy whose ghost everybody's gossiping about. As he massaged his shoulder with one hand, Taku shot a sidelong glance at me. I exhaled cigarette smoke without responding, then looked at Ray.
レイ、榊から連絡があったか。
Ray, has Sakaki been in contact with you? He looked at me in surprise and stared down awkwardly at his feet.
榊さん襲撃があってから行方不明なんでしょ。連絡してみる？
No, but I heard he went missing during the attack. Should I try to call him? I just realized just now Ray dyed his eyebrows. I like that.
いや、いい。連絡があったら教えてくれ。
No, that's alright. Just let me know if you hear from him.
わかった。
Sure thing. He nodded fretfully.
どうお前はどうなんだ。部屋も広いでありそうで怪我もしてるし、また悪夢も見たりしたのか。
Oh, what's going on with you? All this mess? And your injuries? Did you have another nightmare?
特には。
Well, lately, no.
本当か。
Really?
あは。
Really? Taku looked at me suspiciously. You could just give a one-sentence summary like, oh yeah, I found out the truth. It sucked, despaired, and then this dude helped me out of it. Now I'm fine. You could just say that.
あの洋館で何をしてたのか、何があったのか、思い出した。
I remembered what happened in that mansion, and what I was doing there. Instantly, their expressions shifted. What?
過去思い出したの？
You regained your memories? Yeah, Ray, I don't think Ray knows, but Taku knows, which I'm really curious to like hear his explanation.
あは。
Yeah.
いつかはこうなるってこと分かってただろ。
Surely you knew this was going to happen sooner or later. Taku looked away, his brow furrowed deeply.
兵器なのか。何か不調が起きたりは。
Well, are you alright? Any symptoms?
前と変わらないな。
Nothing new since last time.
本当か。
Really?
あは。
Really? I nodded insistently. He still didn't look convinced, but he sighed and lowered his gaze.
そうか。
Alright then. To me, his low voice sounded a tiny bit relieved. Then he raised his head and looked at Ray.
そろそろ下へ戻るぞ。
On, let's get back downstairs.
でも
What? But...
ほら、行った。
You heard me. Move it. Ray frowned reluctantly as Taku shooed him toward the exit. Then he looked over his shoulder at me.
とは、もし何かあったら、すぐ呼べよ。
TOWA, if you need anything, just give us a call. I nodded and the two of them left the room. Fujieda returned to my apartment around 3 p.m. He walked right up to me as I sat on the sofa and explained the details surrounding the Takusato attack. It was basically the same conversation I'd had with Taku and Ray, except Fujieda appeared to have more to say.
何か分かったのか。
Did you find anything?
あは。マヤが入院していた。新興総合病院を調べたところ、当時、マヤの担当だった看護師がまだ勤務していることが分かった。
Oh, I did. I looked into Shinkomi General Hospital, where Maya was hospitalized, and learned that the nurse who looked after her still works there.
その看護師に話を聞きに行こうかと思ったんだが。長谷川さんのことを思うと。
So I was thinking of going to speak with her, but I remembered what happened to Hasegawa-san, and his expression clouded over. Nah, you should ask anyways.
うかつに接触するわけにいかないだろう。
We mustn't approach her carelessly.
そうだな。
Right. Fujieda had tried to protect Hasegawa by sending her to a hospital on the mainland, but in the end, she died regardless. And the Takusato Gumi were probably keeping tabs on this nurse too. Right as a heavy silence was settling in, the door opened and Taku peeked in.
とは、どうだ、調子は。
TOWA, how are you feeling? Then he saw Fujieda and frowned. Fujieda inclined his head in a wordless greeting.
また、何かあったのか。
Did something else happen?
ええ。
Yes. Just then, his face lit up with some sort of idea, and he looked at Taku.
村瀬先生。
Dr. Murase.
お知り合いに、新興総合病院に勤めている方々いらっしゃいませんか？
Do you happen to have any contacts working at Shinkomi General Hospital? The sudden question put Taku on guard. He stared back dubiously, then nodded.
まあ、いるにはいるな。
Well, yes, I do.
キーさんという女性の看護師に会いたいのですが、ご存知ですか？
I'm looking for a female nurse named Kii-san. Do you know her? Yeah.
キーさんは、マヤさんの担当だったそうですね。
I'm told Kii-san looked after Maya-san when she was hospitalized. Now he's angry. Taku fixed Fujieda with a hard, silent look. He didn't say a word about Hasegawa's death, but he didn't need to. It was written all over his face.
わかっています。なので、私たちが動くわけにはいかないと思い、どうしようかと。
Yes, I know what you're thinking. It seems prudent not to take action ourselves, but I'm not sure what to do. Taku averted his gaze pensively, then looked back at Fujieda.
俺が聞いてこよ
I'll talk to her.
いいんですか
Would you do that for us?
俺ならそれほど怪しまれることなくキーさんと会うことができる
I should be able to meet with Ki-san without raising too much suspicion.
でもなぜ急に
But why the sudden change of heart? I too was puzzled by Taku's proposal. All this time he was staunchly opposed to me investigating my past. So why did he suddenly feel like cooperating?
とは過去を思い出したと
Well, Towa said he regained his memories. He glanced at me sadly.
それなら隠し通す必要ないいずれ知れることだ
So there's no point in me trying to hide it anymore. Because he's gonna find out sooner or later.
わかりましたそれではお願いできますか
Very well. In that case, we could really use your help. No problem. Taku nodded and pulled his phone out of the pocket of his white lab coat.
キーさん村瀬ですお久しぶりです今は大丈夫ですか実は
Ki-san, it's me, Murase. Long time no talk. I'd like to speak to you, if that's okay. Yeah, see, the thing is. Then, after a brief exchange, he hung up.
すぐに行けば時間が取れるそうだ
She said she could make time to talk if I head over now.
同行しても病院の前まで構いません
Could we come with you? We can stay in the car if necessary.
わかった車で行くぞ
Fine then, I'll drive. Muttering briskly, Taku left the room. I looked up at the clock on the wall. If we left right now, we probably wouldn't make it back in time for the start of the evening appointments. And yet, Taku was willing to help us anyway. Wow. So nice.
準備があるだろう先に外へ行っている
You probably need to get ready, so I'll go wait outside the building. With that, Fujieda left the room too. I rose from the sofa and headed to the bathroom. Washed my face and gazed at the last remaining fragments of the mirror. His face held vestiges of Maya. But now I could accept it without getting emotional. I gazed at myself for a long moment and stepped out of the bathroom. I got dressed, pulled on my coat, then left the apartment. Downstairs, I left the building through the front entrance. Squinting in the bright light of the pale sky, I realized all those persistent symptoms I'd endured were gone now. Externally, my wound still ached, but on the inside, I felt fine. Meanwhile, Taku and Fujieda were already waiting for me in the car. I walked over and hopped into the back seat. At Shinkomi General Hospital. Oh, I love the sunset. Ooh. Taku parked the car in an alley nearby and hopped out. Likewise, Fujieda and I followed suit. And Taku headed off to the hospital to meet with Ki. The building was several times bigger than our puny clinic. Together, Fujieda and I leaned against the alley wall to gaze at it.
Uh-huh.
So you told him you recovered your memories. Yeah.
その後、体調はどうだ？特に大きな変化はないのか？
How have you been feeling since then? Any notable changes?
ない。
Nope.
それならよかった。
Glad to hear it. He let out a sigh of relief. The conversation petered out and silence fell. What?
聞いてきたぞ。
30 minutes later, Taku returned. Alright, I talked to her. Why you look so pissed off? He walked up to us with a sour look on his face.
キーさんの様子は？
How did she react? Fujieda took a step forward as he spoke.
普通だったな。長谷川さんのように怯えていることはなかった。
She seemed normal. Wasn't scared like Hasegawa-san.
どうして今さらそんなことを聞くのかって顔をしていた。
But she was confused as why anybody would care all these years later.
それは当然そう思うでしょうね。
Yes, I suppose I can't blame her.
ただ知っていることはほとんどないそうだ。聞けたのは
But she didn't seem to know very much at all. All I got was
マヤさん入院中、身の回りの世話をしている弟がいたってことと、マヤさんがよく日記をつけていたと。
During Maya-san's hospitalization, there was a guy who ran errands for her, and she often wrote in her diary.
日記
Diary? Could it be? The first thing that came to mind was the torn papers sent to me in that cardboard box. Oh.
身の回りの世話をしていた男というのは
A man who ran errands for her, you say?
年は40前後で堂々としていて物腰が丁寧な男らしい。
She said he was somewhere in his 40s, calm, confident, and polite.
仙台組長高里隆二郎ではなく
And it wasn't the former leader, Takasato Ryujiro? No.
違うだろうな。マヤさんに対して敬語で常に敬意を払っているようだったと。
Don't think so. She said this guy addressed her as ma'am and was always very differential to her.
榊か。
かもしれん。
Might be.
日記は今はどこに？
Where is this, the diary she had?
それもわからないと言っていた。聞けたのはこのくらいだ。
I asked, but she didn't know. Anyway, that's everything she could tell me.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much.
例よりこのことは他言無用だ。キーさん守りたけだな。
You can thank me by keeping your mouth shut. Or her blood's on your hands. Right. Fujieda nodded stiffly.
それじゃ俺はクリニックへ戻るんだな。お前たちはどうする？
Anyway, I'm headed back to the clinic. What about you two?
寄りたいところがあるんだ。ここで。
What? We've got somewhere else to be. So this is where we'll part ways. Where?
わかった。くれぐれも妙な動きはするなよ。
Got it. Try not to do anything stupid, will you?
わかっています。
I understand. He shot a hard look at us as a final warning, then got back into his car. The engine roared to life and he drove off.
榊に連絡してみるか。
Shall we try to contact Sakaki?
ああ。
Yeah. I pulled my phone from my coat pocket and dialed Ray's number. You can just call me yourself. TOWA, what's up?
榊に連絡してほしい。
I need you to get in touch with Sakaki. Sure, but how come?
頼む。榊がどこにいるのか知りたい。
Please, just do it. I need to find out where he is. Well, alright. Call you back in a bit. That he hung up on me. I waited for a while, and sure enough, he called back. I got through and found out where he is. I'll send you the location. So let's all go as a group. The call ended, and then I got a message containing GPS coordinates. Got Sakaki's location. Let's go. The GPS indicated a residential area in District C, easily within walking distance. According to the GPS, Sakaki isn't that far from here. Is Izumi-kun already headed there? Yeah, he said he's on his way. You know, I didn't expect Sakaki to have such deep ties to Maya. Does he have the diary she was using? Beats me. We can try to ask him about it later. We arrived at an upper-class condo building. I knew for a fact that this wasn't Sakaki's primary residence, so apparently he had a few. Holy shit, rich boy. We got there, we found Ray standing out front. Fujieda chose to wait outside, so Ray and I headed in without him. Why? Oh right, they're in bad terms right now. Ray entered the room number on the keypad and the automatic door slid open. There, we took the elevator to the 3rd floor, then walked down the hallway to the door at the very end. Ray looked at me anxiously. With a nod, he pressed the doorbell. The door opened, and a deeply fatigued Sakaki peeked out. Hello. I'd never seen him so drained before. I see you brought Towa with you. He looked at me and narrowed his eyes sharply. Yes, is that bad? Nah, I don't mind. Come in. With that, he stepped away from the door. Ray and I exchanged a wordless glance, then walked in. Could you wait for me in that room there? Whoa. Sakaki pointed to a room, then walked off down the hall. The two of us did as instructed. Maybe it's like the 2nd or 3rd floor. The room was furnished with a sofa and coffee table, but they looked brand new and practically unused. A tense silence descended as we waited for him to return. Then the door opened. Huh? Ray blinked in surprise. It was Eiji!
Hello there, Towa-san and Ray-san.
I frowned at the unexpected guest. What was Eiji doing here? He walked over to us casually, almost like we were at Roost.
Are you wondering why I'm here? Well, Sakaki-san is my boss and all, so...
He crouched down and slid his backpack to the floor. Then he unzipped it and started digging through it. I had a bad feeling about where this was going. I glanced at Ray, who was watching Eiji carefully.
Hey, Torsid, check this out.
Please don't be a bomb. Oh my god. Oh, he's gonna pass them out. He straightened up, his tone jarringly cheerful for the occasion. When I looked over at him, I saw he was wearing a gas mask. Oh shit, he's gonna gas him.
Pretty cool, don't you think?
友達がカスタムしたやつなんですけど、あんまりかっこよかったんで買い取ったんですよ。一点物なんです。
It does go with his color palette.
A custom modded gas mask. It was my friend's, but I liked it so much I had to buy it. It's one of a kind.
そうか。
Cool. Meanwhile, the ominous feeling in my chest continued to swell.
でも、こういうのってなかなか使う機会がないんですよね。
But most of the time, you hardly ever get the chance to use one of these things, you know?
だから使うなら今だと思って持ってきたんです。
So I figured this was the perfect opportunity.
Oh my god. This gave me pause, and I looked at him sharply.
どういう意味だ?
What's that supposed to mean? I couldn't see his expression behind the gas mask. But when I saw the object in his hands, I understood everything all at once.
こういう意味です。
What I mean is this.
TOWA! 逃げて!
TOWA, run! Instinctively, Ray shoved Eiji away. At the same time, Eiji pulled the pin on the canister in his hands. A grenade?! What the fuck? I thought it was gonna be like a sleepy thing. What the? I shielded my nose and mouth with my coat sleeve, but it was too late. The pungent chemical smell stung my eyes and throat, and I started coughing hard. Tears streamed unbidden from my eye, blurring my vision. Then my legs gave out, and I fell to my knees. Ah! Why? Likewise, Ray was on the floor coughing. I couldn't breathe. My lungs spasmed, desperate for oxygen, but my breaths were growing shallow. My vision doubled, tripled, quadrupled until eventually I couldn't see anything at all. Aw, shit. I could feel someone dragging my body, but I didn't have the strength to fight it. They stuffed me in a cramped space. Oh, my guy in a trunk? Oh my god. The area started to vibrate, and after that I felt weightless, like I was being carried away. A car. Apparently they were driving me somewhere.
TOWA!
Through my hazy vision, I could vaguely see Eiji waving at me with a smile.
平気ですか? 手荒なことしちゃってごめんなさい。
Are you feeling alright? Sorry, we had to get rough with you.
Why are you?
無理に喋らない方がいいですよ。体が動かないでしょ。
I recommend that you don't force yourself to talk. You're paralyzed, right?
His tone was perfectly casual. Oh, he's a sociopath. Or psychopath?
せっかくだし、ネタバラシしちゃいますね。実は僕、ずっと前から榊さんの計画のことを知ってたんです。
I'll go ahead and clue you in, since it's so exciting. The truth is, I've been helping Sakaki-san with his secret plan all along.
Adorama's route? While they're driving? Maybe similar to the timing now, that's when Eiji shoots and kills. Wait, whose side is Eiji on? Secret plan?
ええ、榊さん、ずっと前からある計画を実行していたんですよ。その話を聞かせてもらって面白いなって。
Yes, Sakaki-san's been working on this for a really long time, and when he told me about it, I thought it sounded cool.
それで榊さんに協力してたんです。
So I agreed to help out.
僕、新公民に戻ってきたマダラメさんのことも知ってたんです。
Plus, I
けど
knew that. Plus, I knew that Madarame-san had come back to Shinkomi as well.
榊さんに死なれたら困るじゃないですか。面白くなくなって。だからマダラメさんが高里組を襲撃するって情報を教えてあげたんです。
But I couldn't let him kill Sakaki-san. After all, it wouldn't be fun anymore. So I leaked Madarame-san's plan to attack to Takasato Gumi.
Oh, so it's completely different. I guess he doesn't leak it in Madarame's route. I wonder what made him change his mind. You and Madarame both betrayed the gang.
厳密にはちょっと違いますね。
Technically, not quite.
A meaningful smile, he pressed his index finger to his lips.
僕は高里組に雇われてはいましたけど、忠誠を誓っていたわけではないですから。ただ、いろいろと面白くなればいいなって。
The Takasato Gumi employs me, yes, but I never pledged my fealty to them. I just want something to entertain me.
There was a pregnant pause, and then he continued.
僕ね、この新興味が心底本当に大好きなんです。
To be honest, I love Shinkomi from the very bottom of my heart.
こんなに何でもありでカオスになりながらもそれなりのルールで動いてる街って他にあります？
Where else can you find a city with a perfect balance of order, chaos, and endless possibilities?
この街は細い針の上でフラフラ揺れながら立ってるみたいに危うい均衡を保ち続けている不思議な街なんです。
This place is enigma, teetering on a tightrope. One wrong move and it could all come toppling down.
こんなの作ろうと思ってもなかなか作れませんよ。
You don't find a city like this every day.
だから僕この街をできるだけ守りたいんです。そのままの状態ね。高里組だとか今度だとか僕にとってはどうでもいい。
That's why I want to do as much as I can to keep it in its natural state. I don't care about the mainland or the Takasato Gumi.
大事なのは新興味であるということ。それだけなんです。でもね。
What matters to me is keeping Shinkomi great. End of story. But
He pulled off his headwear, and for the first time I got a clearer look at his face. Despite his toothy grin, I could see an eerie glint in his eyes.
この街をここまで面白くしたのって誰なのか知ってます？マヤさんなんですよ。
do you know who made it? Who was it? Do you know who it was that made Shinkomi so interesting in the first place? It was Maya-san.
それがあったから僕は榊さんの計画に協力することにしたんです。
That's why I agreed to help Sakaki-san with his secret plan.
第二のマヤさんが現れたらこの街は一体どうなるんだろうって。
I want to find out what will happen to this town in the wake of the second advent of Maya-san.
Oh my god, they want to turn him into Maya? Second advent of Maya?
榊さんの言いつけでTOWAさんのこともずっと見守ってましたよ。日頃のTOWAさんの言動を榊さんに定期的に報告してましたし。
Sakaki-san ordered me to keep tabs on you, so I stand. I reported back to him periodically about your activities.
Desperately, I struggled to stay conscious, but my heavy eyelid refused to stay open. I had hit my limit.
TOWAさん、僕楽しみにしてますから。
Towa-san, I'm really looking forward to it.
That was the last thing I heard before I descended into the darkness. What the fuck? Instant I opened my eye, the intense pain made me wince. I sputtered and gasped for breath. My nose and throat ached, and my eye was watery and sore. During the pain, I sat up and looked around. Tried to stand, but my body wouldn't move. My hands were tied up. The smell of dust and mold clogged my nostrils. Just then, a blinding flash stole my vision. The light stabbed into my eye, and I squeezed it shut on reflex. Then it was gone again. Slowly, I opened my eye and looked around. I recognized this room. The giant bed, the old-fashioned light fixture hanging from the ceiling, all of it. This was the room that haunted me in my dreams. The room where I spent my childhood. And the room where I remembered everything. As I zoned out, I heard what sounded like a loudspeaker crackle to life. My heart nearly burst through my ribcage. My vision warped and I nearly forgot to breathe. That voice. It was. All at once, my body broke into a cold sweat, and my limbs went numb. I couldn't breathe. My vision flashed and went dark.
Haruto, do you like this painting? Yes. I see. Well, I don't like it much at all. Right. What are you painting, Haruto? It is a picture. You really love to paint pictures, don't you? Yes.
Stop. Please stop. All I could do was gasp for breath. I couldn't move. I was powerless. Powerless.
Haruto, this is your new friend. What's your name? It's May. Haruto, make her feel welcome, won't you? Alright. Haruto, you have a client. Come, Haruto. It's okay, Haruto. It's okay. Go on. Alright.
Just stop, please. No, no, no. Just then, I heard footsteps close by. Have you remembered? I was wrong. Sakaki's not a father figure. He's a baddie. Next thing I knew, Sakaki was standing beside me. Trembling in the agony, I looked up at him.
今の声は生前に録音したマヤとお前の記録だ。
That was a recording of the interactions between you and your mother before she passed. Instead of looking at me, he faced forward as he spoke.
お前はマヤの生まれ変わりなんだ。TOWA。
You are the reincarnation of your mother, TOWA.
No!
過去に関係するものをお前に送りつけたのは俺だ。
Oh. I was the one who sent you those old relics from your past. I had no... Holy shit.
お前のところに最初の荷物が届いた日は、お前がユーフォリアとして初めて人を殺した日だったんだよ。
The day you received the first package was the day you committed your first murder as Euphoria. No. No.
どういうことだ
What are you talking about?
お前が直接手を下していなくとも、お前と死んだ。
Granted, you didn't kill him yourself, but you still drove your art model to suicide.
これは、お前がマヤになる大きな一歩を踏み出したということだ。
That was the first big step you took toward becoming Maya. His lips curled in a thin smile as he made this solemn declaration.
マヤの命日を前にして、俺は、賭けをすることにした。
With the anniversary of her death approaching, I decided to take a gamble.
お前が荷物の意味に気づいて、自分から過去を求めるなら、計画を進めようと。
If you realized the significance of those packages and started to investigate your past, I would proceed with my plan.
計画
What plan?
第二のマヤを誕生させる計画だ。
My plan to create a second Maya. Was this what Eiji was talking about back in the car? Slowly, Sakaki turned to look at me. His eyes were utterly devoid of emotion. His smoke showed no sign of life.
もしお前が荷物に気づかなければ、俺は何もせずに手を引くつもりだった。
If you had failed to react to the packages, I would have left you alone.
だが、俺は半ば確信していた。お前が過去に関わるものを目にしたとき、動かずにはいられないだろうと。
But I was very confident that you would see those things from your past and become compelled to know more.
そして、お前は本当にマヤの予言通りに動いた。やはり、マヤの言うことは絶対なんだよ。
Sure enough, you took action just the way Maya predicted you would. She's never been wrong.
お前はマヤの分身だからな。当然といえば当然の結果だろう。
But you are Maya's descendant, after all. This was surely inevitable.
実際、お前は荷物の中に入っていた日記の紙片を見て、生稲、朝倉、桐原と自分の関係性に気づいた。
You looked at the record entry and realized that Ikuina, Asakura, and Kirihara were all connected to you.
この計画は、お前が自分で過去を思い出さなければ、何の意味もないものだった。
For my plan to work, I need you to regain your memories.
マヤは、お前が、お前自身の意志で、マヤと同じ道を歩むことを望んでいたからだ。
You see, Maya wanted you to choose the same path as her, of your own volition.
ずっと、俺はこの時を待っていた。
And I have been waiting for this moment for so long! Sakaki's voice grew loud and emotional as his grin widened. I thought Tono was the villain! I guess in this route, Sakaki is. Whoa.
お前に送りつけた紙片は、マヤの日記の一部だ。
What I sent you was a portion of Maya's diary.
特に、お前の興味を引くであろう部分。お前の体に残る大きな傷跡について書かれたページを選んだ。
I chose the page that was most likely to get your attention, the one detailing your biggest scar.
お前が過去を思い出すまで静観するつもりだった。だが、想定外の存在が現れた。
Originally, I was planning to watch from the silence until you remembered everything, but then an anomaly entered the picture.
フジエダだ。
He spat the name out, his eyes glinting darkly.
あいつは行方不明の妹を探しているうちにマヤとお前にたどり着いたらしいな。
Apparently, his search for his long-lost sister led him to you and Maya.
妹はマヤが店で扱っていた商品の一人だったんだろうくらいに思ってた。
I figured his sister must have been one of the products Maya's business offered. Oh, he's sick. This dude is sick. Banger music, though.
もしあいつがお前の邪魔をするようならすぐにでも排除しようと思っておいた。だがあいつもお前が過去を思い出すことを望んだ。
If he attempted to get in your way, I was prepared to eliminate him. But instead, he wanted to help you.
それはそれでいいだろうと思っていたらよりにもよってあの悪魔メイの兄だということが分かった。
So I thought I'd go ahead and let him. But then it turned out that his sister was none other than that demon May. His voice and expression were both dripping with contempt.
だったら生かしておく必要はねえからな。殺そうとしたんだ。
In which case, there was no need to let him live. So I tried to kill him. Suddenly, he regained his usual composure and smiled faintly.
マヤの音声記録はまだある。続きを聞こうじゃないか。
I have more tapes of Maya, you know. Why don't we listen to the rest?
やめろ。
Stop it.
No.
But he ignored me and started tapping on his cell phone.
あなたには私のすべてを伝えようと思っていたの。
I wanted to tell you everything about me.
As soon as the voice left the speaker and reached to my ears, a skull-splitting headache set in. I struggled to breathe, the room began to spin.
では、悲しいことに、邪悪な存在があなたの心をかき乱した。
But sadly, an evil being has corrupted your heart.
あの少女、メイよ。彼女は本当に邪悪だった。私はすぐに彼女をあなたから引き離した。
That little girl, May. She was truly toxic. I separated the two of you almost immediately.
その方が彼女のためにもいいと思った。邪悪な心と体から解き放たれた方が彼女自身も楽になるだろう。
I believed it was her best interest as well as yours. Surely she would feel better after she was separated from her wicked heart and body.
でも遅かった。あなたと正しいは彼女によって邪悪に包まれ、私にも悪意を受けるようになった。
But I was too late. After she corrupted your soul, you turned against me.
ハルト、どうか思い出して。私とあなたが望めば、この世のありとあらゆるものは私たちの思い通りになる。
Naruto, please, try to remember. The two of us can control the world when we put our minds to it.
人の心はとても柔らかくて、一握りの砂のようなものなの。だから触れる時には気をつけなければいけない。
The human heart is soft, like a fistful of fine sand. So you must be very careful of how you handle it.
でも私たちがうまく触れれば思う通りの形になる。
But when done well, you can shape into whatever form you desire.
そうすれば何でもできる。砂遊びだと考えれば簡単よ。
Think of it like playing in a sandbox. You're entirely in control.
無数に存在している砂を好きなようにこねて自分の気に入った形にするだけ。
You can sculpt all those tiny grains of sand into the shape you like best.
もし気に入らなければ 潰してしまえばただ砂が崩れて消えるだけだ本当に簡単なのよ
And if you decide you don't like it, you can fly it back down, like a sandcastle. It's just that simple.
潰された砂だっていつまでもこねくり回されている解放された方が早く楽になれる
The sand you flatten will be grateful to be freed. It's easier compared to an eternity of reshaping.
不幸になる人なんていないみんなが幸せになれる方法なの
You won't hurt anyone by doing it. You'll be making them happy.
私はあなたにその幸せを知ってほしかった私のよ
I want you to discover that joy, like I did. But
あの少女のせいで私から離れれば自由になれると思い込んでしまったため
that girl made you think you could escape me. Poor thing.
だから私は最後に榊にお願いをした
So I made one last request of Sakaki.
私の代わりにあの子に本当の幸せを教えてほしい
I asked him to help you find true happiness in my place.
あなたが無事に誰に私になれるようにとお願いしたの
And asked him to make sure that you'd become my successor.
本当は私のそばにいたからだけれど悔しいこともう力がないだから空の向こうからあなたを見守っているわ
Ideally, I wish I could be there, but unfortunately, I'm out of time. So I'll be watching over you from heaven.
大丈夫よ大丈夫心配しないで全てでいい方向へ向かうあなたならできる何も怖くないわ
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It'll all work out. You can do it. There's nothing to fear.
私の可愛いハルトどうか幸せになってね
My sweet Haruto. Live a happy life for me.
私とあなたで喜び
May we both find true joy.
Nothingness. Emptiness. Felt like my entire identity had been erased in an instant. Whoa.
今聞いた通りだ。すべての元凶は柚木芽衣、藤枝の妹だ。
So there you have it. The root of everything was Yuzuki Mei, Fujieda's younger sister. Saki grumbled bitterly.
あの娘はお前に邪悪な欲望を吹き込み、挙句の果てにマヤに歯向かうという悪魔の意志まで植え付けていった。
That girl filled your head with impure desires and taught you to turn against your own mother.
お前がマヤよりも先にメイを思い出してしまうのはまずかった。
I shouldn't have let you remember Mei before you had the chance to remember Maya.
お前にとってメイよりもマヤの存在が大きくなきゃいけなかったからな。
I needed Maya to be more important to you than Mei was.
俺がメイを思い出すとマヤへの憎しみも思い出すからか。
Because the memory of Mei would remind me of my hatred toward Maya.
そんなことあっちゃならないんだ。お前は未だにあの悪魔の毒に蝕まれてるんだよ。
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. You used to be such a papa. What the fuck happened? Now he's like one of those like lead-filled toxic boomers. Jesus. Sakaki, what happened to you? God. I cannot allow that. You're still being poisoned by that demon and her toxicity. Suddenly, Sakaki started screaming. But after a moment, he regained his eerily calm demeanor once more.
だから、ずっと藤枝を監視していた。
That's why I spied on Fujieda all this time.
長谷川に接触したと知った時は少し焦ったよ。あの女はメイを知っているからな。
When I found out he approached Hasegawa, I admit, I panicked a little. After all, she knew about Mei.
すぐに用済みになったから始末したが、こうも考えた。
I had no further use for her, so I quickly disposed of her, but then it occurred to me.
メイの記憶には必ずマヤがついてある。切り離すことはできない。
Any memories of Mei would inevitably contain Maya. The two things were inseparable.
それならいっそのことを、どっちでもいいからさっさと思い出した方がいいとな。
So I decided it didn't matter which one you remembered first, as long as you remembered it all.
イクイナ、朝倉、桐原もあんたの仕業か。
What about Ikuina, Asukara, and Kirihara? Was that your doing too?
ああ、まあ殺さなくてもよかったんだ。ちょっとした演出だ。衝撃的な方がより因縁めいたものを感じるだろう。
Yes, not that I really needed to kill them. It was for dramatic effect. I wanted you to feel that there was a connection. What the fuck? Well, he basically killed Asakura, and then the brother of Kirihara just got hit by a car. Like, so I guess he killed two people. I don't, because he said he started his plan when Ikuina committed suicide. That's still really shitty.
藤枝もお前もそれで諦めるような玉じゃねえだろうしな。
Besides, I knew it wouldn't be enough to deter you or Fujieda.
探していた相手が次々と死んでいくなんてな、なかなか熱い展開だろう。むしろ燃え上がっちまったんじゃねえか。
Pretty intense watching all your leads drop like flies, wasn't it? I bet it got you really invested in the case. He chuckled gleefully, then spread his arms out passionately.
マヤはな、本当にすごい人間だった。完璧だったんだよ。
You see, Maya was truly an incredible woman. She was perfect.
人を魅了する天才でな。自分の美貌や言葉、仕草、呼吸の一つまで相手にどんな風に伝わるかを全て分かってやがった。
Everything about her oozed charisma. She would adjust her appearance, body language, every breath she took, all in order to convey something very specific. So she was really good at manipulating and psychopath. Cool.
それでいて野心家だった。自分の望みを叶えるためならどんなことでもやった。無論殺しもだ。
Only that, but she was highly ambitious. She'd do anything to achieve her goals, including murder, of course.
親父の女になってからは高里組の人間だろうとなんだろうと邪魔になったら殺した。一切の迷いもためらいもなく。
After she hooked up with your old man, she would erase anyone who got in her way, even Takasato members, as she never hesitated, not even once.
そりゃあ見事な手腕だったよ。だが このことはごく一部の人間しか知らなかった。
I admit, she was truly skilled, but only a handful of people knew about that side of her.
俺にはな、マヤが直々に話してくれたんだ。俺が信頼できる人間だと最初から見抜いてたと言ってな。
She talked to me about it directly. Told me she could tell from day one that I was trustworthy.
マヤは本当に周りをよく見ていた。俺は昔からこいつはただものじゃねえと思ってた。
She was highly observant, so I knew right away not to underestimate her.
マヤがいなくなっちまった途端、新興味はダメになった。方針をめぐって組でも抗争が起きた。
But the instant she was gone, Shinkomi went straight to shit. We started fighting over how to lead the gang, and there was bloodshed.
本当にマヤはすごい女だったんだよ。
I can't say it enough. Maya was truly sublime.
随分な入れ込みようだ。
Sounds like you really worshipped her. Struggling to breathe, I glared up at him, my lips curled in a sneer.
マヤと寝たのか。
Did you sleep with her? Instantly, his expression changed.
見くびるんじゃねえ。マヤはそんな安い女じゃねえんだ。
Don't insult her memory. Maya wasn't that kind of woman.
ただひたすら神々しいんだ。全てにおいて完璧だった。
I sincerely mean it. She was godlike, perfect at everything she tried.
俺は陰でずっとマヤのために働いていた。マヤがどこまで上り詰めるのか、それを見届けたかったんだ。
I worked diligently behind the scenes to help her. I wanted to see how high she could fly.
それはもう叶わねえ願いだと思ってたんだが、今はお前がいる。お前の生き方はマヤそっくりだ。
For the longest time, I thought that dream was dead, but now I have you. Your way of life is identical to hers. Smiling, he looked at me.
とは俺の願いを叶えてくれ。マヤのように。
Towa, please, make my wish come true, like Maya did.
マヤはお前が殺したの同然なんだぞ。お前に拒否する権利はねえ。
You basically murdered her with your own two hands, so we have no right to refuse.
俺が殺した。
I murdered her?
そのことはまだ思い出してねえのか。
What? You haven't remembered that yet? He fixed me with a sympathetic frown, then the smile returned.
マヤはお前が殺したんだ。
Yes, Towa. You killed Maya. As far as I knew, my mother died falling down a flight of stairs.
お前が突き落としたんだよ。
You were the one who pushed her. I pushed her?
思い出したか？だからお前がマヤにならなきゃならねえんだ。
Remember now? This is why you must become Maya. My vision pitched sideways. I lost my balance and put a hand to the floor to catch myself. Sweat dripped down my forehead. Just then, something flashed through my mind. An image of my mother chasing me with a knife, her expression downright demonic with rage. It was after I found out the true significance of May's disappearance. The second I rebelled against her, she attacked me. So I fled down the hallway, running. Ahead of me, the floor seemed to vanish into thin air. No, it was just a staircase. I didn't have time to think. I looked over my shoulder. My mother's knife slashed my arm, pain seared through me. In a desperate panic, I grabbed her by the wrist and tugged. Then I pushed her towards the stairs. That single moment was burned into my retina like a painting frozen in time. My mother's face, just before she fell, and her widened eyes. I could see my own warped reflection. It's okay. It's okay. My mother's voice reverberated in my head. It's not scary. It's not scary at all. But it's your fault. It's your fault I died. It's okay. Just make it up to me. It's not scary. Just make it up to me. It's okay. It's okay. You're going to replace me. You'll replace me. You'll take over. Fucking hell. So you remembered everything now, have you? You've remembered. Sakaki laughed and exclaimed in sheer delight.
そうだマヤが死んだのはお前のせいだお前が殺したんだだからお前はマヤにならなきゃならねえ
Yes, it's your fault Maya died. You killed her. That's why you have to replace her.
今こそお前はマヤに生まれ変わるんだ
Right this moment, you will be reborn as Maya. As I lay curled on the floor, he grabbed me by the arm and held me up.
さあ来い
Now, come with me. I tried to shake him off, but my body was too weak. I couldn't fight it with my vision spinning out of control. He started to drag me off.
止まれ
Stop right there. Fujieda? Just then, a sharp, icy voice rang out. Yay! I looked up and squinted through my fuzzy vision until the figure came into focus. It was Fujieda.
お前
You
トアから離れろ
get away from TOWA. He has an interesting voice.
どうしてここに
What are you doing here?
お前の車が A トックの方へ走っていくのを見ておそらくこの館へ向かっているのだろうと予測した
I saw that your car was headed to District A, so I guessed that you were headed here. Fujieda looked at me.
泉君は無事だ村瀬先生のところへ連れて行った
Izumi-kun is safe. I took him to Murase's place. Whoa! Sakaki clicked his tongue and withdrew a gun from his jacket. Die! Shit. Whoa! Whoa! Dodging a bullet. Sheesh. Reflectively, Fujieda hit the floor, dodging the bullet. As he tried to get up, however, Sakaki pointed the gun at him. Before he could fire a second shot, I grabbed the hand that was holding my arm and pulled him sideways as hard as I could. The gunshot rang out. Fujieda clutched his shoulder and winced. Shit. Damn, I missed. Bro. He jumped to his feet and charged at Sakaki. His fist collided with Sakaki's face. Bastard! This time you're dead! With one hand still gripping my arm, Sakaki attempted to aim the gun with the other. Fuck. Shouting, I tackled him. He staggered and the two of us tumbled to the floor. Meanwhile, Fujieda ran in and grabbed his gun hand. When Fujieda swung his other fist, Sakaki pulled his hand away from me in order to block him. Don't get in the way! In my way! Gripping each other's arms, they glared at each other at point-blank range. You and your sister both. When will you brats learn not to interfere? As he screamed, Sakaki shook out of Fujieda's grasp. Then he used his free hand to punch Fujieda right in the gunshot. Every punch made Fujieda wince and recoil. For a split second, the grip on Sakaki's gun had loosened. Sakaki used this opportunity to bash Fujieda in the face with his gun. It's over. As Fujieda staggered, Sakaki raised the gun. Using every last ounce of strength, I lunged for Sakaki again. The third bullet sliced through empty air. Okay, thank God. I thought like TOWA was gonna be like, watch out, and jump in front and then get shot instead. Sakaki fell back to the floor. He pushed me off. His expression tinged with fury. This was Fujieda's chance, and he took it. He grabbed Sakaki's gun hand and then used his free hand to punch him in the face. When the pain of the gunshot seems to be taking its toll, his complexion was pale and his breathing was ragged. Fuck you! Out of nowhere, Sakaki reached back to his jacket and pulled out a knife! Gasping in surprise, Fujieda barely managed to jump backwards in time to dodge. Are you really that desperate? Die! Sakaki swung the knife and Fujieda recoiled. However, Fujieda froze and looked over his shoulder in alarm. Sakaki had backed him right into the edge of the staircase. Oh no. Was that why he started brandishing a knife out of nowhere? Fujieda's heel began to slip and he reached for the handrail. With a smug sneer, Sakaki pointed the barrel of the gun at Fujieda's forehead. Hasta la vista. Don't do it! Screaming, I leapt into action. Got to my feet and charged at Sakaki. Startled, he rolled around and a gunshot rang out. He must have pulled the trigger on reflex. Oh, okay. The bullet grazed my right arm. Searing pain spread through me, and the wound began to throb. Fuck! Flustered, Sakaki walked over to me while keeping the gun trained on Fujieda. With his left hand, he tossed the knife and grabbed my right arm. His fingers dug into the wound and I grunted. Don't move. Fujieda started to walk, but froze, glaring at Sakaki.
メイドの土産に面白い話をしてやろう。
As a parting gift, I'll give you one final piece of trivia. Are the bullets poisoned? Are you kidding me?
お前の妹を殺したのは俺だ。
You want to know who killed your sister? Me. Fujieda's eyes widened in shock.
殺すように指示したのはマヤだがな。お前の妹は悪魔の化身だ。トワを誘惑しようとした。だから殺したのは正しかった。
On Maya's orders, of course, but your sister was a demonic being who tried to mislead Towa. Killing her was the right thing to do.
貴様!
You bastard!
お前も同じ場所へ行きたいだろう。行かせてやるぞ。今すぐにでもな。
You want to go see her? I can send you on your way. Right now, if you like. With a sly grin, Sakaki looked at me, then gestured to Fujieda with the gun.
こいつを助けたいか。
You wanna help him?
だったら、マヤになることを受け入れろ。そうすれば、助けるどころか、今度は殺さずに済むぞ。マヤのようにな。
Then accept your fate as the second Maya. If you do that, then no one will get hurt, and your mother's death will be undone.
10秒の猶予をやる。10、9、8。
I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. 10, 9, 8. Gritting my teeth, I glared back at him.
TOWA.
Fujieda called out to me from the stairs. I could tell from the firm light in his eyes that he was trying to tell me something.
お前はユーフォリアだ。
You are Euphoria. He spoke slowly, meaningfully, as he gazed at me.
何を言うのかと思ったら当たり前のことを。
Ha! That's your message? I think he knows that. Sakaki rolled his eyes and shook his head in a dramatic display of annoyance. But he was wrong. Fujieda meant something a little different, and I understood him perfectly.
ほら、もう後がないぞ。3、2、1。
Come on, you're running out of time. 3, 2, 1. I stared at the floor in silence.
終わりだ。あばよ、先生。
Time's up. Enjoy your afterlife, Mr. Lawyer. Then I slowly looked up.
大丈夫。
It's okay. At this, Sakaki froze.
大丈夫。
It's okay. I spoke softly with a smile.
そんなことをしなくても、すべてうまくいく。
It won't be necessary. It'll all go according to our plan. He looked at me in disbelief. His lips trembled.
大丈夫。何もかも私に任せればいい。
It's okay now. Just leave everything to me.
大丈夫。すべて任せて。
It's okay. Leave it up to me.
お前、本当に。
Okay. I will end here and start the bad end. I'm just gonna make a different video for the bad end because, like, yeah, I looked at the guide. This is during this confrontation, you can either get the good or bad end, and I want to end on the good end. So we're gonna do the bad end first. I usually for the other routes I go back and do the bad end, but no, we're ending this good. So yeah.